Good morning. It's me, Pearl, from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned in Tarot. And we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine energies inside of ourselves, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others and in our external environment. And if we want to see change, we have to make change, shifting within ourselves. As we shift, the people around us, the environment around us will shift. And today's reading is one of the readings that I feel like helps the most for shifting energy. Along with Wednesday's obstacles removed, Friday we look at releasing and rebuilding. And we use each side, good morning, Gia. We use each side of self to help with this process. The feminine side of self helps us to release. The masculine side of self helps us to rebuild. When we come here, we might be thinking about a person that we're interested in getting information about. We can glean information from this through the very fact that that person is also a blending of masculine and feminine energies. And if they are a match for you, will reflect the energy back to you very closely. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to get a drink. So hold in your mind for just a moment a reason that you have come here to listen to this reading today. There is something that you want to hear, or you're hoping to hear, probably something that you think, oh, I'll feel so much better once this happens, or I experience this thing. So whatever that is, just hold that in your mind right now. So that is what you think that you need. And now we're going to check and see if what you think you need is actually what you need at the moment. The divine thinks you need this. We've got the I had to look twice at that. We've got the Three of Cups, which says abundance. And this is my card I associate with reunion. And we got this very interesting card from the Creativity Tarot that says push. Don't feel inadequate. Forget how to quit. Push on no matter how things look. Okay. So this is about celebrating and having a good time and having fun and being lighthearted. And I'm sure one of the things that somebody who came to this collective reading was thinking was like, I want to come into union with my person. And this is what would be best for the collective right now, is not to give up on this idea of reuniting and celebration and coming together. And pushing through this last hurdle, these last hurdles, these last obstacles to arrive at that union in the physical. Not just the spiritual union I'm getting from this today, but actually the physical union, because this is like, think about, it's so beautiful. Think about the Empress, okay? She has been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting to give birth, right? And how do you give birth? Well, I've done it before. You push. You push. So this is that point where you think you can't do it anymore. You're exhausted and you're tired and you've asked for the epidural, but it's too late. And you're just like, I can't possibly do this. You're thinking to yourself, people die giving birth. Like, I might not make it. And then, the nurse who's been holding your hand, like, leans over and tells you, listen, everything in your body right now is fighting against this. And rather than fight your body, you need to lean in to the feelings. You need to let it pass through you. And then you just need to push when you feel your body ready to do that. And that last person's just reassurance that things are going well and it is working out and it is going to happen. And suddenly you can hear that baby crying. All right, let's get started. So we're going to first look at the general energy surrounding where the Empress, or how the Empress, the feminine, the divine feminine, is feeling, and what needs to be released is in the first position of the spread. But first, we're just going to look at like why something needs to be released, or how she's doing. Honestly, this is just sort of like, how is she doing? Here is the Seven of Swords, which we keep getting from the Mystical Moments Tarot, which I'm going to use forever. Sorry. You'll see 3 other decks, but it'll just always have this one. It's fine. It's fine. And the Ostara Tarot, we have this lovely Temperance card in the heart space, and it's upright. Divine Feminine, are you being patient with not knowing things? That seems like a really good general energy to be in, honestly. However, I do think there is a lot of wanting to know things and having to regulate your emotions in regards to not knowing things, not knowing what is going on. I think you're also feeling very patient about the strategy that you have for creating your own abundance. Excuse me. It snuck up on me. So I feel like you have, there's calm and peace that comes with Temperance. It's a card of harmony. It's a card of higher level relationships also, like 5D, telepathic, spiritual relationships. There's a protective energy coming from that card, the Angel. When your emotions are regulated, you're feeling very patient. I feel like you've come to a point where you've really released a lot of your anger about what has gone on behind the scenes. It seems like there's this feeling of acceptance that's sort of like, I don't know what happened. And I can make up a lot of stories about it. I can try to get away with like facing it and thinking about it or dealing with it, or I can create a bunch of really scary scenarios and let those, make me angry and jealous. Or I can accept what I don't know, like as something that I don't know, almost like in a protected way. Like she's got this protective, like I'm being protected from something by not knowing. And again, the protective energy that comes from the Temperance card, and I'm accepting that. All right, Divine Feminine's hidden assistance. What is going to help her release whatever it is she needs to release? We are getting the Queen of Swords upright, which we keep getting this beautiful lady. And we are getting the Ace of Swords in reverse from the Ostara Tarot. We are frequently getting the Ace of Swords in reverse from that tarot. Now, this is the hidden assistance. If we don't know something, what's interesting is you started to think in your head, maybe I'm being protected. And then we see here, the hidden assistance is that even though you're seeking this information, you're looking for this clarity, not knowing the truth about something is actually assisting you. It's causing you, because of the situation that you have been in, where you have these feelings that you want this thing or this person and you can't stop thinking about it and you're consumed with it and it just won't leave you alone. It's caused you to become curious and research and try to find out information. The old ideas that you have forced you to figure out a new way of being, a new way of doing. And again, the Seven of Swords represents strategy, and the Divine Feminine in her Queen of Swords energy is a masterful strategist. So the fact that you didn't know what was going on, that the truth was hidden from you, this has actually taught you how to use your intellect to assess your feelings and make decisions to have healthy boundaries when you don't feel good about the interactions you're having. So you have created a lot of independence during this time where you haven't known exactly what's going on or why. And it's really masterful, actually. So here's what past experience that you need to release. The Four of Cups and the Two of Cups. This came out like this in the Tell Me Everything spread yesterday. For those of you that are members, if you're not a member and you'd like to watch that spread, you can click the link below for all the information about that. It's only $3.33 a month to be a member, and you get two extra readings every week. It's 7:44 a.m. on the clock right now. But yesterday in the collective reading, there was a lot of transverse energy, a lot of on the fence, here nor there, not quite releasing, not quite getting it. Today, things are coming out properly. But we have here, you need to release. The Four of Cups is in the headspace. And this is fantasy, dreams. It can be impracticality because you're very spiritual, and obviously the Two of Cups is like relationship, coming together, being in physical union. It can be a specific relationship. I'm drawn to the star that's in this image right now, and I'm thinking about wishes. And so if your general energy right now is that you don't know what's going to happen and you're kind of peaceful about it, but you're obviously having to be patient because the Temperance card is about being patient. So you're having to wait to find something out. And you want to be able to move past this waiting period. You're being told that you need to release the fantasies about physical union, or a fantasy about reuniting with a specific person, or it's going to be, this is a collective reading, so it's going to be different for everybody. But the Four of Cups can also be about rejecting an offer. And in this image, this feminine it's interesting because she's actually being protected again by this bird. Is it a duck or a goose or a black swan? I don't know. Let me look. Let me see. Duck, goose. Like what? I want to see what type of bird that is. Also, since I'm looking in the book, we might as well read it. A girl is resting with her arms crossed under a tree. She is taking time for herself. The unpleasant rainy weather reflects the girl's heavy thoughts. She is so preoccupied with her thoughts, she does not care about the duck offering an umbrella to protect her from getting wet. It was a duck. The umbrella's 4 separate colors symbolize the different perspectives and attitudes you can choose in life to change a situation. It says indifference, withdrawal, passivity, apathy, and retreat. Interesting. So, what needs to be released then is this negativity, these heavy thoughts about relationship, this apathy. It's not going to happen for me. I'm good. Nothing's going to happen. And while you're thinking about how, nothing is going to happen, you're missing these opportunities for having what you want to happen. So you have to release these heavy thoughts about a past relationship that has left some kind of a wound, or just your general feeling of apathy, like you can't get things going, or if you don't want to do dating apps or something, you're like, well, I guess I'm never going to meet anybody then, or, just focusing on what you don't have instead of what you do have. Alrighty. Okay. The next position is what can I do right now to soothe myself? The World. This is a gorgeous card. And the Knight of Swords in reverse. Hi, Kurt. Welcome. So what can I do to soothe myself right now? Well, you can embrace that the end of a cycle is taking place. And it's a cycle of not receiving communication. And when you do receive communication, having it be reckless or thoughtless or like self-motivated, not in its integrity. So this is done. You're not going to see this type of energy anymore. You're not going to see, masks, people wearing masks anymore. It's like you can't attract that energy anymore, because you've ended the cycles where these types of individuals are going to come in to teach you lessons, like lessons learned. So you can soothe yourself right now about that. You don't have to think like, oh, I'm not going to be able to have a union with a soulmate, because all these jokers out here are, shady. Excuse me. What can I expect to encounter as I make space for new energy? Oh my God, this is very fascinating. So we're getting the Seven of Pentacles upright, and then we're getting the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. And what's really fascinating about this is this jumped the deck for me twice yesterday when I was shuffling on the phone with my friend, and it was upright both times, and yet somehow it's not upright again. So I just think that's so fascinating. But and whenever this happens in one placement, I'm just like, what can you expect? And it's like, this, nope, just kidding. But it's very interesting because the head space, right, is thoughtful. Hi Saffron, what has made space here, or what we've made space for, is for the mind to take care of yourself, to take care of your own self, right? And to harvest the abundance, the seeds that you've planted, instead of this hoarding energy, or this feeling that there isn't like a harvest for this family here. It's a different energy, right? It's like before you were taking care of everybody else, and now you're just taking care of yourself. And you're patient because when you're in this beautiful garden with all of the seeds that you've planted blooming and coming up around you, it's hard to feel impatient because you have all you need. You're like immersed in it. So that's what you make space for as you release these ideas of the past, that you had to take care of somebody else, that you were going to be in these codependent situations, that nobody was coming, that it wasn't time to harvest things. Like that's gone. What behaviors have gotten in my way? The Ten of Cups here and the Six of Cups. So this Six of Cups shows 6 people, each with their own cup, and they're all around. They're on this platform, and it looks like there's like this big bonfire here or something. Oh no, it's a whale. I'm just seeing that now. Okay, so there's like do you see this? There's like this whale coming up here. This is really odd. So it's like the spirit of the whale. So that's like the communication, that's like song. It's like an immortal creature. So I guess holding on to the past, this can be yesterday and today you basically did the lyric explanation for my song, Sign Her Up for My Genius. You just said song, stop. See, look at this. I love that, Saffron. Sorry. Okay. So this can represent multiple karmic people from the past. And this is bliss fulfillment. And both of these are about bliss. Like this is about nostalgia and bliss. And this is also about reuniting. And this is your spiritual fulfillment. But in this case, and again, we're getting this whale image here, which is this making me think of the ocean. And then you're literally immersed in the ocean, and the top of you, like this half is here, and then the bottom has become like fish, like you're like becoming your emotions. So feeling that your emotional fulfillment was going to come from like some past connection has gotten in your way. Thinking that there is this like immortal beloved and that you have to be with that particular individual, that particular person, in order for you to feel spiritual bliss. There's no way, no other way for you to do that. So that behavior has really gotten in your way. What can I do now to avoid this? We have the King of Pentacles here and the Nine of Swords. This is facing fears about a specific person. Facing your fears, maybe that if you don't have this specific person from your past, that you won't really truly be happy, or that you can't have this person from your past too. Like there's too much that has happened. There's too big of a rift between you that you can't have it. And so like facing these fears about that, or facing the fears that you aren't enough or that you can't provide for yourself. Again, collective reading, so it's gonna fall somewhere in that spectrum. I'm really feeling it's like feeling like you can't have a specific person, being afraid that you can't have someone specific. So the thing about the Nine of Swords is it's about waking up from a nightmare and realizing that these things are illusions. So what you can do to avoid this is accepting that having a specific individual and believing that this person is your past life connection, that is what holds you back from being able to receive love now. It doesn't serve you. So embracing that is it's an illusion that there is one specific person for you. It is an illusion. It's funny, I'm telling you that, but I know that you're not going to believe that. But that is the message that's coming from spirit. Like, it's not me being like, oh, you should let go of this person because they're holding you back and I'm just trying to help you. Spirit is saying the story that there is one single person for you in this lifetime is an illusion. If this message is true, this means when you go click on twin flame readings and a twin flame reader irresponsibly tells you that the twin is the best relationship you will ever have in your life, first of all, I don't know where they're getting their information about that. But second of all, Spirit just told you that's bullshit. There isn't one specific person who's going to make all your dreams come true unless you're looking in an actual mirror. If you are looking in an actual mirror, that is the one person who will make all of your dreams come true. No one else should be standing in the mirror, and it should not be the mirror of Erised. It is a regular mirror, and you're looking at yourself. Okay, glad we cleared that up. What is growing within me or within this connection, if you're looking at it that way, as I move on? You have to be kidding me. The Ace of Swords, which was our hidden assistance in reverse. And I keep getting this card, and I just love it. Now it's here, the truth, a new conception of reality, a new idea that has more to do with God. This is like the Fibonacci sequence, the God number, with organized chaos, with divine alignment, than with anything else. And I normally only take, first of all, it's supposed to be one card, and then occasionally I'll take two, and then today for some reason it had to be three. So here's what we get. In the headspace, we get to have a new idea. We get to see a new future. In the heart space, we wield that truth with bravery in this Page of Swords energy, and we see our way through the internal struggle that we've been in, that has prevented us from this Four of Wands in reverse. But here also, look at this. The truth, which we are brave enough to see, that we have kept ourselves stuck, blocked, that we have defeated finally the twin flame label. This is what we will, this is what will grow within us. The ability to wield this truth and finally defeat the hold that this soulmate story has over us that's kept us in a karmic entanglement. Damn. And we will go back and we will use the tarot of the 78 doors to release and rebuild more. And then we will use guardians to help us completely release. Okay, let's go rebuild now. What are we rebuilding? Divine Masculine headspace. We have the Nine of Wands in reverse. In the heart space, the Four of Cups in reverse, which is, I shit you not, what we were releasing. If we're releasing the idea that of this specific soulmate, that we have to be with a specific person or specific soulmate, or a past relationship, or negativity about getting into a relationship, or whatever that is, then we are rebuilding, coming out of isolation and being alone because we were afraid we were going to be alone, but we're rebuilding, we're healing those wounds of isolation, of victim mentality, that we can't be in a relationship, that only bad things happen to us, whatever that is. We're getting rid of this victim mentality. And we are releasing the fantasy, that negativity bias, that we aren't going to get an offer or have our offer accepted, or keep this illusion of being alone as part of our reality. We're going to release that. We're rebuilding, we're healing those wounds now. I really can't make that up. Okay. Interestingly, the bottom of the deck is only supposed to be one card. But when I got the bottom of the deck and I pulled it, it was actually two cards that were like this. So I thought that was strange, and I decided I would keep them both. And now that I see the cards, it makes a lot of sense to me. But because I didn't actually really look at them, this is the hidden assistance for rebuilding, for healing those wounds, about the fantasy we had about getting or receiving offers, or having or being rejected, or whatever it is. The hidden assistance in the headspace is Judgment in reverse and the Nine of Swords. Now, this is the position that I wrote for these spreads. These two spreads are called the Empress and Emperor spreads that I designed. And there's a couple positions that I put in my own spreads that after I designed the spread, I'm like, really? And this is one of them. Because the hidden assistance is often something shitty. So you're like, cool, the shitty thing that I've been going through has really been helpful, which I suppose is helpful. But at the same time, it's also like, okay, we couldn't have just gotten like an instruction manual and I could have like read through it and taken a quiz. No, I had to like have this happen. So the hidden assistance right now that for divine masculine in rebuilding and healing these wounds and releasing the victim mentality and releasing this fantasy and actually coming to a place where he's accepting an offer of love and rebuilding or offering love. I forgot to say this card too. The Three of Swords in reverse in the heart space. So healing the heart. Now, this is the shitty part the masculine has had to endure. He has not been able to face what he did to the feminine in his life. Now, this can be, I want to clarify this because I keep hearing a lot of readings and they will talk about this, but they don't clarify this. And I think it's so important. This might not be the divine feminine. The divine masculine is likely not going to have inflicted abuse on the divine feminine. Most likely, the masculine has inflicted abuse on his own internal feminine, meaning he has treated her, he's not allowed his feelings to be expressed. He's considered when he has feelings or emotions, he's considered it weakness. He's kept her down. He may have like disrespected her body, like the temple of her body. And then he may have been having, he likely was having sexual connections with feminines that were it was just a completely self-serving. There was no connection or attachment. And it was like treating the feminine like meat. Sometimes like we get the card of like treating the feminine like meat. It's the Judgment card from the Housewives Tarot. So being unable to face the music and being really intimidated about forgiving himself for how he acted up until the point that he decided that he wanted to have this soulmate, this has actually helped him with the rebuilding process, because part of that rebuilding process we saw was this deep healing of these deep wounds. And the time that he took, because he couldn't bear to face divine feminine, still carrying this judgment about himself, still feeling this unworthiness, this has given both of them the time that was needed to heal wounds from their past that came from other partners. So I'm not saying that your divine counterpart, never has done anything bad to you or never ever has abused you, because I'm not an authority on twin flame. There isn't one. But my intuition is telling me that it is likely that the person that triggers you into the spiritual journey, The person who does emotionally abuse you and does treat you in such a way that they desperately need to forgive themselves, that person is, I feel, unlikely to be the person that you will end up with because of the deep wounding that exists in that dynamic. It is more likely that as you heal from that person's, from that situation with that person, and you suss out where your original wounds came from that caused you to attract a person that would trigger those wounds so you could heal them, that person goes on their own journey and potentially heals. But because of free will, it is more likely in my mind that what really happens is that as you heal these wounds yourself, as you learn to forgive yourself for all the illusions that kept you holding on to a past connection that you need to release, a healed divine counterpart can finally step in and reunite with you. And reunite might not mean like you've actually met in the physical before, because it could be an energetic reunion, one where you haven't seen this person yet in this lifetime. Or it could be someone from your past that you didn't realize was really truly a soulmate as well. Again, how is this helping us to rebuild? Because the thing we have to release is the attachment to one single individual. In my opinion, the person that comes in has traveled the same path that you have traveled. They have found out that they had anxious avoidant attachment patterns. They found out that they were entering into karmic relationships in order to learn things. They decided they didn't want to do that anymore. They tend to abstain then after that from sexual connections. They are looking for permanence and stability. So the time it has taken for the masculine energy to face how he has behaved, the judgment he feels for himself, this has helped, because all that time was needed, was necessary to do the healing that had to take place on both sides of the equation. So, what challenges me in the rebuilding process? What past experience challenges me in the rebuilding process? The Queen of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. There are two queens here. Neither one of them is in the picture with this masculine. Just trying to determine if there are two different feminines, which is possible, or if these are two aspects of divine feminine. Because for me, this is that divine masculine has this to me is divine feminine energy, like the spiritual feminine, the healer. She's got a wand. She's like, holds this vision. She's confident. She's very attractive. She draws you in. And this is the card about material happiness, like material fulfillment. And then this is the feeling, this loving, compassionate, kind, caring, nurturing, mothering energy. So I think it is possible that divine feminine's or divine masculine's mother, his actual mother, has some kind of hold, or has, this is the past, has had some kind of hold or control over him. His feelings about her, his relationship with her, something that happened. It's like he has positive feelings for this energy, but at the same time, this is the past experience that challenges him. So when he started to be attracted to this divine feminine, it's like he didn't know how to fit her in this picture of his material happiness. This can also be about loyalty if there was an issue with two different queens. But again, I just feel like it's not really about that. It's like a deeper thing because we're looking at deeper wounds. So I feel like this is definitely like, maybe what I'm seeing is that what has really challenged him is that he has been attracted to this divine feminine, but he has longed for her to be his mother, to nurture him. Like, she's not in this picture of the material happiness in reality. He's kept her like in his heart space, like nurturing and caring for him, but like not his equal, not like part of his material world. Keep almost like she's a fantasy, like she's too divine, she's too good to be in this picture with me. This has really challenged him. Okay, so then what can he do right now to build his confidence? The Six of Pentacles, holy shit, the Empress upright, and the Hierophant. Oh my God. Well, you can go give to this Empress a proposal of marriage that will build your confidence real quick, yo. But it's not just that. The Six of Pentacles upright is a good feeling. It's finally being generous and benevolent with this Empress who's been waiting for you. This is the divine feminine, the ultimate mother. And then we've got this Hierophant energy in the heart space, which is sacred union, learning higher level lessons, authority, tradition. When the Six of Pentacles is in reverse, it's upright now, but when it's in reverse, it's about breadcrumbing. And so I feel like in this case, we're not getting that energy. There's a balance now, and the feminine is being treated equally. So it's fully embracing this lesson that the divine feminine deserves equal an equal role in your material world. She cannot just be kept in fantasy. What's happening? Oh, that goes there. Okay, and then we have what possible future challenges could arise. The Page of Wands and the Knight of Swords in reverse, which we saw over here in Divine Feminine's what would soothe her is that she's not going to get this anymore. So Divine Masculine, the Page of Wands is like new, fresh ideas, but it's like sexual burgeoning sexual energy. And the Knight of Swords in reverse is about being too fast and being too reckless. So you might have to like think it back a little bit. Don't prematurely don't go in too soon and don't like give it up too soon. Because you do, obviously, if this is going to build your confidence, to go and give equally to the Empress and to come into union with her in sacred union, which is literally the theme of today's reading, is reuniting, celebrating, and pushing through these last fears and anxieties to actually come into union. It will be very tempting to just go for it physically. And this could be a challenge. And not that you can't do that, but holding back that desire might be a bit of a challenge for you, wanting to go a little too fast. You want to really respect and honor this connection. And so you're a little bit worried that your head is just going to be like thinking about X-rated things, and you're not going to be able to communicate what you really want to say. And that is a little bit of a concern for you. So you know what you have to do to like deal with that before you go and talk to her. So, I don't need to tell you about that. Okay. What past behaviors have destabilized me? The 7 of Wands in reverse and the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. So standing up for all the wrong things, fighting for all the wrong things, like fighting for your reputation, or fighting for your coin, or for other people, working for other people, like doing a job where you're making a bunch of money that doesn't even benefit you, or you're making things for someone else. Not standing up for yourself, not actually fighting against the illusions that keep you believing that you can't make what you want, or have what you want, or create what you want in this world. Not fighting for the connection, and focusing too much on the material. So what can I do now to avoid this and stabilize? That's 3 aces of swords. We've got the Ace of Swords in reverse and the Hermit. There's the Ace of Swords in reverse again. So this is an Ace of Swords where it's going to hurt. When you grab this sword, you don't even grab it by the hilt. You're grabbing it by the blade, and it's going to cut you. It's going to hurt. And this is that going inward energy, and really sussing out exactly why you fought for the wrong things, because there's some truth that you're really not wanting to see about this. But I'm also hearing cut out hermiting, like cut out hermiting. So you actually, rather than face the truth, you go into a hermit energy, and you've got to actually face the truth. You need to have a new conception of yourself, like a new idea about yourself. You've got this lone wolf mentality, and it's not really suiting you. What future prospects do I have to look forward to once I rebuild and stabilize? The 5 of Cups in reverse in the headspace, and the 7 of Wands upright. So if you were destabilized by not fighting for what you desire, and not standing up for yourself and for what you believe in, and in fact just sort of letting the world dictate how you exist, then once you rebuild, you have the ability to fight for what you desire, and to fight off this tendency towards pessimism, which we saw over here needed to be released. So you're rebuilding your optimism and your ability to fight for what you love, to fight off against your own behaviors that will destabilize you if you let them. That's mastery. I love that. Okay, let's look now at the oracles for the Divine Feminine. Well, first we're going to do her Tarot of the 78 Doors. So continuing the what does Divine Feminine need to release and how can she rebuild? We are getting for her the Two of Swords. Now, this is a very fascinating energy because we've got this nun, and I can relate to that, annoyingly so, who is finding this infant. And so we're thinking about this as like a safe haven situation where, you know, someone has left a baby on the doorstep of this church or convent or whatever, orphanage, Harry Potter. And this nun, actually, she comes outside and she looks horrified at this poor baby that's out in the rain. I'm actually sensing she's horrified at the situation of this infant. She herself obviously has to make a decision or a choice at this moment about what to do about this child. We sense that it's warm inside where she is. And her desire is to help that baby, like to save that baby somehow. But she's also not really equipped for this care of this infant. Like she's meant to be a sister, right? Not a mother, unless she becomes the head of the convent. But releasing this idea that because you're a spiritual person, because you are holy, because you know that God is love or spirit is love, or however you want to talk about that, you feel this obligation, you feel this moral obligation to take care of this infant, to bring this infant out from the cold. And I think that this is representing that past connection, that individual that you know suffered greatly, and feeling like you're at this standstill of being like, I want to do anything I can to help this infant, but I have made a spiritual commitment and I have to honor that. So what will help you to release this energy of being stuck and indecisive about really feeling a calling to care for others and feeling drawn to caring for this soul, but having at the same time to care for your own soul and your own spiritual fulfillment? We're getting the Eight of Pentacles. This is what will help you rebuild once you have made this difficult decision to turn the infant over to the proper authorities. You will be able to rebuild from that painful experience by focusing on what it is that you want to create new in the world, materially. Letting that baby go, letting that's your baby, right? It's not for you anymore. You've chosen a different path. So letting that go and then focusing on what you create physically in the world, this is going to help you rebuild from this painful standstill, from this painful decision. So going deeply into your passions, that is going to release that standstill that you're in where you can't decide how to move forward. So you have two archetypes that are helping you with this energy. So these are the elements in yourself that are going to help you with this release. The Beggar in reverse, which is the Five of Pentacles energy to me. And this is the needing to confront your empowerment at the level of physical survival and awakening the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem. And then we're getting Trickster coming out as well, which is transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. So I feel like the archetypes that are going to help you is like, these two archetypes coming out together could actually be the archetypes of a con man. Somebody who depends on the others to the exclusion of effort, but is like, and then manipulating others through duplicity. That's a con man. But we're seeing this coming out upright. So we're not seeing like, oh, you're going to be helped releasing this this fixation on this past relationship, or not being able to create relationships, or not having love in your life, or whatever, by being a con man, but by tricking yourself into this empowerment. So tricking yourself is kind of what I encourage you to do when I am at the end of the readings, when I talk about going general. It's like you want something, in this case, to stop thinking about this past relationship, or holding the space for one single individual, or believing that you're not going to meet your soulmate or something. You've got to trick yourself out of that. You've got to do something to transcend the conventional ideas you have, the predictable behaviors that you have. So, to trick yourself into believing that you already have something, there's a bunch of different ways to do that. You can visualize, and during a deep meditation, you can do, sound, like subliminals. There's all kinds of ways to trick your consciousness into releasing an old pattern, and you want to explore those things. And at the end of this, we will do a going general reading, so you'll be able to kind of use that to help you. But basically, it's tricking your subconscious into new beliefs. Another guardian that's going to help you right now is Saint Anthony of Padua. This is the saint that we pray to as Italians when we've lost something. Saint Anthony, come around, something's lost and can't be found, type of a deal. And then we give them bread and we pray or something if we find the thing. It always works. Always works to pray to Saint Anthony. I'm just going to say it. And if you're Italian, you know that's true. Saint Anthony is the patron saint of lost causes, basically. Or actually, I think Saint Jude is, but he helps with items that are lost, things that are lost. And he's here basically, first of all, what I just said about what Italians believe about Saint Anthony, he's actually, it's funny because I remember as a kid, not really always having faith that if I asked God for something, it would happen. But definitely knowing that if I lost something, I just had to pray to Saint Anthony and I would find it. Period. So for me, he's someone I've always had this faith in. And I feel like he's supporting you it's like telling you found it. Like it's 8:33 on the clock. You found this within yourself. And because you find this within yourself, it has to appear outside. You found the faith to believe that you would find this thing, right? And because of your faith, you have found it. You're also getting Moth Spirit, surrender now. Let's look at this protection message. This is the 39th card. Moth Spirit can be intense. And honesty about your own compulsive tendencies is needed right now. It is too easy to switch from one addiction to another, distracting yourself from the discomfort of uncertainty and the thoughts and emotions that arise when you aren't single-mindedly pursuing a goal. Can you fucking believe this? Jesus Christ. Moth Spirit calls to you to practice moderation in all things and recognize when you think you are headed toward the light, but are really heading into a fire that will cause burnout. Why are you so resistant to letting up? Could you be avoiding difficult emotions you need to feel and release? Now is the time to do a fearless inventory so that your addictive tendencies can be toned down and rechanneled into enthusiastic activity in moderation. You are not a machine. Listen to Moth Spirit's message that a change is needed to support your well-being. Maybe, deep down, you know you have become too attached to something and someone. Let go of your need to control the outcome and allow yourself to remember the many ways you want to channel your energy to relationships, to work, to giving to others, to self-care, and to all the other pursuits you value. Look at what you were making space for was that, right? That last part, the all the ways that you channel your energy to work, to giving to others, to self-care. So there's the self-care that's coming from there. The being stuck in the standstill, focused on this baby, is helped by understanding that you have this work, this mission in the world. So call on Moth Spirit to help you. These guardians, when I give you these oracles at the end of these readings, you are meant to incorporate them into your prayers and practice if you so choose. So if you get Moth Spirit and that message is so profound to you, draw a moth on a piece of paper. Or if you have this deck, pull this card out and put it on your altar. But let Moth Spirit help you. Let Saint Anthony help you. Like, that's what those guardians are meant for. Expect powerful change. I decided, so I've started to kind of flow in with these Wednesday, Friday readings where the oracles I really wanted to like suit the reading. And I felt that the Moonology oracle cards are best for release and rebuild because it's like the different phases of the moon, etc. And this is the new moon eclipse. I have to find it. It's like, I think it's in the back. Yep. If you want affirmation that you can achieve your dreams and get the desired outcome in this situation you're asking about, then this is it. This is a card of beginnings. Oh, it's interesting. I did the feminine's oracles before masculine. Usually I go back to masculine. I totally forgot. This is a card of beginnings, and there are powerful energies at work, but be prepared. It could be quite a ride, and events now could even be jarring and uncomfortable. However, any new directions you take will almost always lead somewhere better than where you are at the moment. Whatever is happening now is happening for a reason you'll appreciate later on. A new portal is opening up, and all you have to do is have the courage to forget about the past and move through it. You're being put back on the right path. There is nothing to fear. Attune to the moon. Never mind the past. Life evolves every single day. That's why the readings happen every single day, right? Because things change every single second of every single day. The additional meanings for this card are yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. What's the matter, babe? What's the matter? You okay? It's weird. She doesn't usually whine. What is it? What do you need? You're being shunted towards your life purpose. Whatever is happening now is happening for your highest good. This is an important turning point in your life. New moon eclipses are among the most exciting astrological events. They herald a complete change of pace. It's as though you're headed in one direction, probably being guided by your ego, and then here comes the divine, the goddess or spirit, to turn you instead to face the direction you actually need to go, regardless of whether or not there's a new moon eclipse happening when you pull this card. It's a powerful affirmation of positive turnarounds. I love that for you, Divine Feminine. And your theme, wow. You're getting the Fool, which is a fresh, new beginning, blank slate, completely clean. And then you're getting partnership. Once you have decided to walk your path in partnership, you must put the relationship first. So let me give you the healing message from the Creativity Oracle. But for me, this is new partnership, new soulmate, new opportunity, new person. No more twin flame. I'm bound to this one person for the rest of my life. Silly thing. You're only bound to learn lessons. You're not bound to be that person forever until you die of loneliness and stagnation. That is not what is meant for you. And you must know that. Like, you must know that you are not meant to stagnate. The partnership card is an indication that you need to consider taking on one or more equal partners to best manifest the outcome you desire. You need more than one option. If this applies to your situation, then a legal partnership needs to be formed. Partners must put the partnership first, ahead of personal interests. If a partnership is needed but fear prevents it from being formed, then this card is a reminder. It can also be a reminder that when a creative work is produced for an audience, the audience should be considered an equal partner in the process. Far too many artists who want their work to be appreciated by others treat the creative process as a lonely exploration of their inner being, not caring if anyone wants to know about it, and are then surprised that those with whom they try to share or sell their work do not get it. There is not one partner for you. I'm going to reiterate this again. This is coming from the divine. It is not coming from Pearl the person. Pearl the person is going to go back and listen to this and be like, there is not one soulmate for you. So if the person that you're focused on can't be with you right now, there is no reason to wait for them. You were meant to learn a lesson with them for a time. You're meant to continue to learn lessons, and you are meant to be open to new partnerships. What you have asked for is to come into alignment with a soulmate. But you can't if you won't let an old one that's not in alignment go. Okay, now masculine. I don't know why I didn't go to you first, but sorry, Norbert. Let's see what you have to say. Here is what you need to release and how you can rebuild. Oh, it's the Knight of Pentacles. Here, let's demonstrate how fast the Knight of Pentacles moves. It's moving. Okay, stop. I'm going to stop. You are going so slowly, man. You're going too slow. And you're not doing it because you're like really careful. You're doing it because you're a relentless, terrifying perfectionist who is so good at preventing yourself from having the thing you desire, because the thing you desire is over here. And in order to get over here, you have to perfectly arrive there. Oh, you're moving. But it's almost 8:44 on the clock. It's almost impossible to be perfect. Virtually impossible. So it's going to take you a long time because you have to figure that out before you can get over there. So how can we fix this? Elevated said, this journey has been something so crazy it's hard to even put into words. It's been life-changing and I'm grateful, although it seems overwhelming at times. Yeah, I feel you. What will help you with this very slow-moving perfectionism, that now I have faith not only in myself, but in a power greater than me. Well, that's appropriate, because what will help you is that having faith in a power greater than you, which is this magician energy that co-creates with spirit. Bro, I get it. If you were doing this all by yourself, it would be overwhelming how perfect you would need to get it. But what's perfect is that you don't have to do it by yourself. You never were, you never did, you never will. The magician knows that their power exists only because of their connection to the divine. Look at this. I have a serious burn there on my arm. It's so itchy now, but like it's never gone. I mean, that's a bandage, but that's how big the burn is. The connection to the divine. Every powerful witch or, sorcerer or whatever the fuck you want to call it, they know that they don't have their own power without that connection. And anytime that they start to think that they are the one that is powerful and it is not a higher power that is being channeled through them, they get their asses slapped. Right? Bitch gets slapped down. The Tower of Babel. Like, we're going to build a high tower tall as the heavens. And they're like, I'm going to knock your fucking tower over, and I'm going to make sure y'all can't even speak to each other anymore in one language. Good luck with it. You're not in charge. You're not controlling things. This isn't on you, and you best be thankful for it, because if it was, you wouldn't be able to handle it. You aren't all consciousness when you're experiencing unique consciousness through this perspective of an ego. You have to tune into the all to be able to actually accomplish what you desire. And you have to release your idea, this idea that you can physically fucking manifest something if you just do the right number of steps in the right order. The only reason you manifest anything is because of the faith you have that it will be manifested by the divine. And if that's not how you're manifesting, then you won't be able to manifest for long. So you just have to get out of your own way and believe that you said, can I have this? And the universe said, yes. And you said, cool, how can I do this? And the universe said, leave it up to me. And then you were like, wait, what do I do? Just leave it up to me. But what? Just leave it up to me. But how does stop questioning me and let me show you? You're talking so much that you can't see. I'm showing you. The universe is like, I'm showing you. And you just keep being like, what am I supposed to do? Just look ahead. Like, look, you're driving the car. Look at the road. The road, it's unfolding. It's right there. There's going to be a sign on the road. It's going to say turn right. And you're going to go, oh, that's where I'm supposed to go. But if you keep turning over to me in the passenger seat and being like, well, how am I going to find the next thing, and not paying attention to the road, you're going to fucking crash. Like, pay attention to the road. I designed it for you. The way that you know you're on the right path is that you're going to get feelings from me. You're going to feel either, yes, this is a good idea, or no. I literally am sending you all of those feelings. And then your job is to use your intellect to check it and be like, oh, I kind of feel not great when I think about going in that direction. Exactly. Pay attention to the road, divine masculine, and stop, going along all the way and trying to get the perfect gift or the perfect present or the perfect ring or the perfect whatever the hell. Just stop. Let me drive. Here is the archetype that is going to help you. You're a childlike nature. The reason why the childlike nature archetype is going to help you, because that's literally the instructions that Jesus Christ gave to all of humanity. Jesus Christ was like, oh, do you want to enter the kingdom of heaven? Well, then you have to be like these little children. Let these little children come to me. Don't block these little children from coming to me. These little children are inheriting heaven. They are in heaven right now. And you can't be in heaven unless you are like these little children. And all the adults are like, what the fuck is Jesus talking about? We have to be like little children, like with like snot running down our nose and like dirt on our hands and shit, and like running around like crazy without any sort of, I don't know. Jesus is weird, right? All the adults are like, what do you mean? We worked all our lives to get all this wisdom and stuff, and now we're grown up, and now you're telling us we can't go to heaven because we're grown-ups? And Jesus is like, yeah, you can't. Because heaven isn't a place where grown-ups go. Grown-ups face reality. They face all of the suffering. They look at the negative stuff. They sit under the umbrella of my protection and feel only the rain. Because they listen to the ego. They listen to fear. They listen to the devil. Children are innocent. They haven't yet been jaded. They haven't yet thought, oh, I'll never get this. It'll never happen. This will never be this way. Because they have never been smacked down before by other people's limiting beliefs. They're open. They believe anything is possible because they know it is. They're not so far removed from the point of origin that they've forgotten where they came from. So this is what's going to really help you, divine masculine. Being playful, laughing, having fun, being very imaginative, believing in fantasies even. Your guardian angel is here to help you in this retreat energy. And I don't believe this is for you to retreat. I actually think this is about the divine feminine. You are getting the support right now in the divine feminine's retreat energy. You're afraid to approach her because she has retreated. But your guardian angel is saying, no, you're safe to approach. The divine feminine retreated to let you come to her, not so that you wouldn't. And your guardian angel is going to help you with believing in that. Badger spirit is here. I love this for you. This is be fearless and bold. And it's number 4. We've gotten a lot of 4s today. Badger spirit rejoices at your persistence and commitment to what is true for you. Whatever you seek, your tenacity and faith in your partnership with spirit, the magician, is paying off, and the results will soon coalesce into form in your world. The gift of Badger spirit is the surety that taking a risk now and being courageous, fearless, and bold will yield wondrous results. This is a time to harness your will and apply it consistently to the pursuit of your dreams. Know that no matter the temporary outer conditions, you will manifest your desires in divine timing and in the form that spirit deems best for you. Badger spirit says you have what it takes to get what you want, so assert yourself. Be fearless and be bold, shining your light as your purpose calls you into the world. New relationships are also given a green light now. Don't be afraid to make the first move. Badger spirit loves your brave and mighty heart. Very interesting. I also it just popped into my head as I was reading this card to think about this journey for those of us that are trying to release that there's this one person type of thing. If you think about this, like if you're like, oh, did I meet him already or her? Are they already in my life? Is it not the person I'm focused on? Is it the person I'm focused on? Is this person, is that person, the other person, whatever? I'm encouraging you to approach my readings from now on with this belief, because I think this belief will help you no matter who your person is. When I read for the counterpart that you are needing more information about because you don't identify as strongly with that part of yourself, I want you to imagine you have not met them. And I want you to imagine that this person that you haven't met yet, you don't know what they look like, you don't know where they're from, you don't know how you're going to meet them, where they're going to come from, nothing. All you know about is the journey that they're on. All that you have is the compassion for what they've gone through. All that you see is this unconditional love for how much they reflect your own energy back to you. If you approach the readings this way, as in, I don't know who that is, I only know they are a pure reflection of me, I believe you will come into union a lot sooner than if you think, oh, this is my person, and my person is working on these things, and when my person is done working on these things, they will come and get me. I think you should think, oh, this is my person of whom I don't know their identity, and I can feel so much more compassion and understanding and love for what they're going through, because they're not doing anything to me. They're going through all these experiences for me to understand how to love. Try that. Okay, let me continue now with masculine's oracles. Balance spirituality and practicality. What do you mean? Four of Cups in reverse, meaning balancing spirituality with practicality? I can't even understand. All right, full moon in Pisces. Oh, I just opened a new moon in Pisces. But I want the full moon, please. Have you been so head in the clouds that you've lost touch with reality? If so, take this card as a sign that you need to pay attention to the road. Pay attention and make a concerted effort to move towards your goals. The more practical steps you can take, the better. It's time to find an inner balance between your responsibilities and your dreams. Meditate on your question, and the solutions to your issue may now come through very clearly. If you're in a tricky situation because you've been acting the martyr, this card will be a message from the cosmos to drop the act for everyone's sake. Attune to the moon. Meditate every day and see what comes to you. Answers will come. Why don't you meditate every day? I'm asking myself this question as I'm rewatching this later. Why don't you do that? It is so easy to do, and it feels so good. And answers always come when you do. So I'm going to make a commitment today, again, to meditate every day. And I'm going to really, really, really try to get myself to do it when I first wake up, instead of checking my Instagram, which is what I do when I first wake up usually. So I'm encouraging everyone, even if it's just for a few minutes, to do that. You're also getting, we're not doing that card. You're in a super romantic, but not super realistic state. Follow your intuition. It won't let you down. At worst, this card can herald the end of a dream. The person you're inquiring about is a soulmate. Avoid substance abuse. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, so the full moon in Pisces symbolically marks endings. When the moon is full in Pisces, or whenever you pull this card, it's a time to dive deep into your emotions. Practicality is at odds with the numinous Piscean energies that have no borders. So feel your way now. Psychic ability is heightened when the full moon is in Pisces, and soulmates now connect. It is also a time to send out your dreams to the universe, releasing your fears. Send out your dreams and release your fears. I love that. Here's your theme for the week, Divine Masculine. The Two of Pentacles and seed, having the intention to grow like a seed and bloom, is at the heart of creativity. And this Two of Pentacles, which of course has the yin yang on it and the lemniscate, the snake eating its own tail, the eternal dance, the juggling, the balancing of responsibilities, etc., and change, making changes, deciding to change, and you're getting seed. So I'm seeing having the intention to change. Just it's like that intention will grow like a seed and bloom. So let me just get your last healing message from the Creativity Oracle for this card, which is number 15. The seed card is a reminder that creative ideas start out as small and delicate as a seed. Our designs are our babies, and they need to be kept safe and away from harsh realities and harsh people. Seeds can grow into tiny ground cover or giant sequoia trees and plants of every size in between. At this stage of your creative process, it is important that you concentrate on nurturing your basic idea, giving it a chance to grow and take hold, and avoid subjecting it to too much intense light or scrutiny, especially by other people. Each seed holds its own secret, and the appearance of the seed card can mean that you should keep your idea secret during its incubation period. What's interesting is that the Divine Masculine yesterday in the Tell Me Everything spread, in the bottom of the decks for head and heart, that's the position I use to identify what the masculine is hiding from the feminine. And the masculine was actually hiding that he had made a decision. It might have actually been the Two of Pentacles in reverse, actually. I think it was, with the Six of Wands in reverse. And what that meant was he had made a decision to not go public about something, or he had made a decision, but he didn't want to talk to people about it yet because it was too new, too fresh. He didn't want to be seen as having juggled energy at the same time. So he didn't want to be perceived that way. And I just think it's interesting that this is saying, and I added to that when I talked about it, is not only just he doesn't want to be perceived that way. It's not just an ego-based situation. It was also the desire to be able to have what he wanted. He didn't want to jinx his decision. He didn't want to jinx the choice he had made by communicating about it too soon. And this card is supporting him in that. So I really like that confirmation of that Tell Me Everything reading. Again, if you want to read, see that reading, the information is below on how to join or become a member of pearlsprayers.com. Also, if you are a spiritual nourishment student, you automatically have a membership for a full year. So there's that as well. Okay, now we are at the final cards for the union. This is what needs to be released. This is the Five of Wands. And for me, it is the feeling that you have to hammer through a wall. I don't think you have to do this. And I think the idea that you do is what's keeping you stuck. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and we had a conversation in which I ended up saying, maybe the reason why this isn't working out is because you don't have to work on yourself. Like, maybe there's nothing wrong with you. And then after I had that conversation with her, I listened to another reading later that day. It was like probably 4 or 5 hours later. And the reader said, there is nothing wrong with you. There's nothing for you to fix. She was talking to the Divine Feminine. She says, there's nothing wrong with you. You just need love. Everyone needs love. That's not weird or abnormal. That doesn't need to be fixed. And that was profound to me. Just to be given permission to need love. You know, we focus a lot about loving ourselves and needing to love ourselves. And that is very important. But it's also good to just acknowledge that the reason you feel so out of alignment, the reason that things feel off or strange or weird or not right or out of sorts is because you do need love. You have always needed it. You felt broken for a long time because you didn't get the kind of love you needed. No matter how benign your experiences were in childhood, in some way, you were denied some basic feelings of security in regards to love and relationships. That's why you're here. That's why you relate to me. There is nothing really wrong with you for needing this love. That's normal. It doesn't need fixing. You don't need to go to a hospital. You don't have to talk to somebody about how fucked you up you are, that you need someone to love you. Nope. We all need that. If we don't love each other, we will all die. What's wrong is that you felt wrong for needing love. And I'm just plucking that out of you right now and throwing it away. You do need love. You should feel out of sorts when you don't have it. It should cause you to look at your situation and be like, I deserve love. I need it. It's not here. Why? But the only reason it's not there is not because you're inherently flawed. It's just because you have learned to believe that you don't deserve love in some way, or that it's hard to get, or that you have to fix yourself to get it. One of the problems, I think, in the spiritual community, it's like you get addicted to fixing yourself, but that's it. You get addicted to fixing yourself. You get addicted to always being wrong or off or not right or having to struggle. And really what we're trying to achieve is ease and flow. And that means that there isn't anything wrong, that everything that you do is a part of your plan and your destiny, and it is leading you to where you need to go. It's when you feel bad, like that's when you just need to use your intellect to see like, oh, what thoughts am I having that are making me feel bad? And then you don't fix those thoughts by being like, oh, I'm broken, my head doesn't work, and I don't think right. All you do is say like, oh, those thoughts really are making me feel this way. And I'm going to reach for a better feeling thought. And when I say reach, I mean reach. You don't need to get out of your chair. You don't need to drive to a new place or relocate or find a new person. You just need to reach for something that feels a little better than what you're thinking about now. And that's not being broken or needing to be fixed. That's just being a human. So that's the door that needs to be open. And I think part of what I just said is how you open it, because I didn't even look at what would help you rebuild. And it's literally the Queen of Cups, which is being loving, gentle, empathetic, forgiving to yourself, compassionate to yourself, and being like, there's nothing wrong with you. I love you. And this will unblock this door between the twins, because both of them leaning into love, it melts the illusion of this door away. There is no door, there is no barrier, there is no boundary that love can't cross or permeate. It is not physical. It's an ineffable feeling. It physically manifests, but no wall can keep it from entering. No door. The archetype that's going to help the both of you right now is the rebel. Neither one of you is accepting like norms. You are both challenging authority to affect social change, and you reject spiritual systems that do not serve your needs. This is absolutely helping you become the best version of yourself, because doing what everybody else does never helped anybody get anywhere. That's for sure. Never ended up becoming innovative. It never changed anything. It just kept the status quo. Your guardian angel is also here to support you in having faith. That is all you need. Faith in yourself, because you are inspired by the divine. And when you're inspired by the divine, everything you do is divine. Even if it's a detour. Watch your words. The words that you're saying are so powerful. The stories that you're telling are so powerful. It's called spelling, right? We spell words. Those words, those books, those ancient texts, those tomes, those poems, those stories, all of those things, they have incredible power. If you doubt the power of words, let me ask you right now, before you saw the live action version of Harry Potter, did that world exist in your mind or did it not? It had a powerful hold over me before I ever saw it come to life. It already was living. It already was made flesh. Words have power. So watch what you say. You were getting the fixed moon and it was in reverse and it says hold your vision, but we're dealing today with releasing fixed ideas. So I think it was interesting that it was in reverse. And here is the card's message. There are two main possibilities with this card. The first is that you need to stand firm in whatever situation you are in. 7 of Wands. The second, very different interpretation is that something is stuck. The divine feminine has to release something. That could well be referring to the situation you're asking about. If that's the case, have a think about what you can do to grease the wheels so that events move forward. Are you being stubborn? If so, that's great. Because if you really want things to change, there's a solution. Stop digging your heels in. Be the one to break a deadlock. With two interpretations for this card, it's up to you to decide what's going on and which meaning applies to you. This offers up a chance for some self-reflection. Do you see how the one person who's being stubborn and not doing anything, masculine energy, if they stop digging their heels in and actually go forward to the divine feminine, and then the divine feminine who's stubbornly holding on to this past connection, if she needs to let go in order to be unstuck, then the masculine who is right for her is going to stop stubbornly, 9/11 on the clock, stop stubbornly resisting this energy and actually come through. Attune to the moon. Yes. Just say the word a lot and see how it feels. Watching Harry Potter never hurt anyone. Personally, I like reading it. I read it every year. I'm on book 6 right now. Like I'm almost done with 6. Staying power, faith or patience are needed, and your guardian angel is there to support you in faith, so you should be fine. Someone needs to back down, avoid stagnation. A personal or professional relationship will be enduring. In astrology, there are 3 quadruplicity. Interesting. Cardinal, fixed, and mutable. The fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. The fixed signs can be stubborn, so anything that's just starting as you draw this card may well last longer. Remember, we each have all the star signs in our chart. It's just the way the astrological wheel works. So there's no judgment when we say that while it's admirable how much staying power the fixed signs have, they can be obstinate. What do you mean? I'm not obstinate. Okay. So, I can play piano for you today. I forgot my piano's on over here. I'll do a spontaneous performance for you. Okay. Interesting. We keep getting this gosh darn card. Here's the theme for the twins. We have the 8 of Wands, go with the flow, communication coming in, fast moving energy, and nature again. Go out in nature as much as you can, for its pure creativity can teach you everything you need to know. So we're going to read the nature card again because we keep getting it every time. The nature card is an invitation to do as much of your creative process outdoors as is practically possible. If working outside is not feasible, then simply go for a walk. There is a lesson to be learned in everything you can observe in nature if you are peaceful and attentive inside yourself. Taking yourself to the outside world by leaving the studio, classroom, office, or any other place of work is as important as any work done indoors. Immersing yourself in nature and its signs and symbols clears your head and cleans your spirit, allowing you to return to your work with a renewed energy and sense of purpose. This card can also be a reminder that you need to take human nature into account when trying to solve any problems associated with the matter in question. And we just heard about fixed signs and stubbornness. So my divine masculine better take my nature into account. And actually, the divine masculine I'm thinking of, although I'm really honestly trying to honor this reading and not really be attached, I have no idea who my person is, honestly. But one of the persons I'm thinking of is also a fixed sign. So that's just going to be fun for us forever. Okay, let's now go general. Let's figure out. This is the part of the reading that I honestly think is the most powerful. There's a lot of powerful messages that come through, but in terms of actually creating change, if you can start to grasp this part of the reading, I think it's going to really help you a lot. And if it's a little bit like, I'm not quite sure what you mean by this, I understand, because it took me a long time to understand what Abraham Hicks means when she talks about going general. But basically right now we're going to look at what are the things that the masculine and feminine side of self are thinking about constantly. They're in loop thinking patterns about that, and it's preventing them from seeing change because they keep thinking the same thing. What will help them alleviate the burden of this thought process or thought pattern, or what will help change their mind or help them open up to new possibilities? And then in what way can they go general about this so that they can actually create change without thinking about what they don't want at the same time? Okay. So we will do the masculine first this time since we're supposed to. Wow, masculine. If you were not here yesterday, for the members only reading, you might want to go check it out, because there's a lot. It's definitely the same masculine energy here. This is what he can't stop thinking about. He still can't stop thinking about this. This is going home. This is what was bothering him yesterday. Interesting. So whatever I told him yesterday didn't work, or he didn't do it, or it's just, yeah, he just didn't do it, I guess. He just wasn't able to get it off his mind. This is, okay, so all things home, moving to a new home, moving to a new place, relocating, being safe, being at home, feeling at home with the feminine, feeling like he wants to come home to the feminine, wanting to be really safe, secure, and stable. What will help him is the sun. The enlightening energy of the sun, the joy, happiness. Yesterday it was the heart, and it was the story basically of home is where the heart is. And now today it's like, okay, well, we had home is where your heart is. And now we've got home is, it's a place, it's when you feel joy. When you feel joy, you're connected to the divine. When you're connected to the divine, you're coming home. This is also inner child healing, inner child wounds that you need enlightenment about. This, if really embracing yesterday that home is where the heart is didn't make you feel safe, then this other part is going to help you. There is an inner child wound having to do with safety, security, and being at home or staying at home or living at home from childhood that needs to be explored. So you might want to do a little bit of detective work to try to find exactly where maybe in your childhood there's a feeling of being unsafe or not secure or not able to come home. The way that you can go general, you've gotten this before too. This is really simple going general. This is if you have a pet, play with your pet and have a fun time with your pet. People are like, well, how is that going to help me come into union? Because when you play with a pet and you're focused and connected, your brain stops. It's a meditative thing, and you stop thinking about how you don't feel safe or whatever it is that's making you feel like you can't go home, or and also the bond that you can have with a pet, it's so strong and secure that feeling of secure bonding with that pet will create a state in you that causes you to attract secure bonds. You want to attract the way you feel in this moment. Also, the reason why you want to go home and be safe is because you want the feeling of safety, security, and stability in a relationship. This is going to give you that. This is what you're after. It's torturing you because you think you need the house in order for you to feel your joy. But you don't. You just need to connect with a pet for a few minutes to feel joy. That's it. This is also about loyalty. So the idea that you want to think about time. So if you're worried that your home will break up, like if this is about worrying about a broken home or family leaving, divorce or things not working out, something like that, then you want to think back to points in your life where people have proven their loyalty. And it not in relationships, not in romantic relationships, it can be in friendships. It can be even you proving that you are loyal, that you are a loyal companion to your friends, or that you are loyal to your ideals, or to wearing the same look, like whatever you are loyal to, just feel the loyalty of that. Feel the safety and security of you being committed to something and valuing it and respecting it. That is going to help the masculine. Feminine, what do you think about constantly? Can't stop thinking about it. It's driving you crazy. You're stuck in a loop and you need to stop. For those of you that were at the fucking members only reading yesterday, including Saffron, the divine feminine is also thinking about the same goddamn thing she was thinking about yesterday. I cannot. That is crazy. And what's crazy is she has the same fucking instructions. So first of all, this is, should I move on? Should I go? Should I relocate? Should I change the situation? Have the lessons been learned? Am I going to level up? Am I going to move into the next phase of my relationship? Am I blah, blah, blah. Okay. This is the only card that's different. This is garden, and I'm hearing secret garden. And garden is just this lovely place. Also, in this case, it's this bouquet, or not a bouquet, but there are flowers growing within this watering can. So it's like the emotions themselves offer this bountiful place for this. I want to hang on. Where is it? There it is. All right. I want to look at what this little book says about garden. Also, it is the 8 of Swords. It says, oh no, it's not. Yeah, it is. It says 20. I do believe in an everyday sort of magic, the inexplicable connectedness we sometimes experience with places, people, works of art, and the like. The garden card illustrates a special place to interact with other people and with nature, to enjoy beauty. The setting may be a public space, such as a park or a museum, or it may involve a private social gathering, such as a party or reception. The miniature garden depicted here suggests that the group dynamics are a microcosm of social structure, wherein individuals contribute their talents and energy for the benefit of all. What a group of people can accomplish together is far greater than what anyone can do alone. The garden card may refer to networking, clubs, communities, meetings, recreation, support groups, conferences, fundraisers, leisure activities, and cultural events. The setting itself is not as important as the sense of enjoyment derived from participating in communal activities, community, social interaction, culture, beauty, recreation, and enjoyment. Okay. So, divine feminine being fixated on relocating, changing her situation, leaving behind somebody. Obviously, we're working to release a specific person, so moving away from that person. However, this is. What will help you right now is to go deeply into the community where you currently are. This urge or this focus on leaving, it's usually because of a feeling that's within of restlessness that has little to do with our actual environment and more to do with our internal state. So connecting and going more into the community and getting out, we keep getting that nature card over and over and over again. So this is a really important thing for the feminine to embrace. Like, she is within already the place where she needs to be, metaphorically speaking. I mean, you might need to relocate, but I'm just saying, metaphorically speaking, you have a bountiful garden, a community around you of support. Okay, so let me give you how to go general, which is exactly what it was yesterday. Choices. And yesterday, when I was reading this card, the whole thing yesterday was about, should I move on from this person? And the going general card yesterday was like, you got a lot of choices. There's not one choice. There's not one path. There's a whole community of people to choose from. There's a beautiful garden filled with earthly delights. Go see the Bosch painting. And this, it's like in this labyrinth, there isn't one way out of the labyrinth. There's many ways, and there's people that help you all along the way. So divine feminine, rather than think like, should I move on from this connection that's not panning out? Should I let go of this other one that I was holding on to? Is this connection going to level up? Is this going to, it's like, go out into your community, into nature specifically. Why nature? I have chills. Why? Because nature. Why else? Because nature. You are going to find your soulmate in nature, out in your community. So if you've been like, where am I going to find this person? How am I going to connect with this person? It's going to be outside in nature. For me, who never does that, I'm like, well, I guess I better make that trip to the dog park happen soon. Maybe today. Maybe I'll go today. I'm going to go to Silver Lake Dog Park today. And so going general now for the divine feminine about choices. This is where you need to think about a time in your life. And this was what you had to do yesterday. So you're going to do it again. Maybe you didn't do it. Did you hear that? My piano was like very foreboding there. Maybe you didn't do it either. You were all salty. You're like, divine masculine still got the same problem. His ass didn't do anything. And I'm like, girl, did you do what the divine masculine was supposed to do? Did you do what the divine feminine was supposed to do? It doesn't look like it. It's okay. Because now you know. You got the card that said expect powerful change. And you were like, how's powerful change going to go? Here's how it's going to go. Today, you're going to fucking do this. You're going to fucking do it. You're going to play with your dog or your cat. If you have a dog or a cat or a pet of some kind, you're going to, and I don't care what your gender is. I don't care what your bits are. This isn't about bits. Did you forget? It's not about bits. This is about you. Basically, when you leave my readings, every day that I do this, you have 2 assignments. not one, but two. So you're going to play with your pet today, which is not hard for me to do. I adore mine. You're going to connect and meditate in that state with the pet, okay? You are also going to think about times when you have been loyal to something, not a person, if possible, but to a thing, to an ideal, to a project, to a religion, it doesn't matter what you've been loyal to, but it doesn't matter if you stayed loyal either. I just want you to think about the feelings of being loyal to something or someone. Not your person, though. Just someone. Okay? And then you're going to think about times in your life when you thought that there was only one way of doing things, and then you realized that there were many ways. You could do it this way. You could do it that way. And this can be honestly completely mundane feeling. Like it can be like, oh my God, that's how you do that on your phone? Oh, I thought you had to like click this and this and that, but you can like open that. That's so easy. Oh, I didn't even realize that. Okay. That sounds stupid. Now, in terms of a Patronus, like trying to get into the feeling, it might be hard to get into 17 seconds of feeling that if you're only thinking about something so small. But I want it to be as unrelated to relationships as possible. So like maybe a really good, honestly, a major life decision would be good. Like maybe you thought you could only go to one college or one school, and then you found like a lot of other programs that would be great, and you got to apply to a bunch of different choices. Or maybe you thought like there was only one style of eating that was going to work for you, and you tried doing that for a long time and it just really didn't work. And then I'm like, you know what? There are different ways of doing things. I'm going to choose a new way of eating, and that really like changed everything for you. It doesn't matter what it's about as long as it's not about your person or the job you want. If it's about what you're trying to manifest, you're going to think about how you don't have that thing at the same time. And so that's going to keep you moving very slowly. But if you just think about something else completely, it's going to really help you out. So I hope that helps. Thank you for saying I'm looking really hot. I'm feeling very hot. All right. What is coming at, what is it that you do not see coming? The both of you. The lady. And if you were here yesterday, then you would know that what you didn't see coming yesterday was the man. Can I make that up? I can't make it up. So this divine feminine, being open, being receptive, and if you're the masculine energy waiting for your soulmate, the feminine's coming in. And if you're the feminine energy waiting for your soulmate, the open, receptive energy that you need to get into that union, that's here. I love that for us and for all of us. Thank you so for us and for all of us. For you and for all of us is what I meant to say. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I will be back tomorrow on my on the website for the Tell Me Everything spread for the weekend. And then on Sunday, I will be doing TikTok with Grace Strega at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for an hour, where we will answer free questions for you. And then we will do the Choose Your Own Personal Reading and the Divine Check-In on Instagram at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's 1 p.m., 2 p.m. Pacific Coast Time. I really look forward to that. It is one of my most favorite things to do. And I am also strongly encouraging you, if you don't know about the Spiritual Nourishment course and you're interested in working more closely with me, but you know, maybe it's a little out of your range price-wise right now, you can receive the benefit of learning how to tune into your intuition through nourishing yourself, through adornment and through pleasure. And that is all described in the video below here about spiritual nourishment. So you can click that description box, check that out. Becoming a spiritual nourishment student also gives you a year's access to the members only site. And if you just want to see the Tell Me Everything spread tomorrow, it is $3.33 to become a member. And you can also see that information below. And you can send me a deck and you can click support. Thank you so much for everybody who does support me. I do need it. This is my only gig. So, and if you think to yourself, oh, a bunch of people are probably supporting her every single day, that is not necessarily true at the moment. So if you have been thinking about supporting me, now would be a good time. I definitely could use it this month. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a gorgeous day. I shall see you tomorrow on the members only portion of the site or on TikTok, where I shall be 6 days a week. Have the best day.